All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. What up, my dogs? It is 6:32. It is October 30th. It is Wednesday. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. This is the 6:30 Club, Monday through Thursday, where I try and connect the dots, look at where the action is, get us some calculated plays, make us some money so we could stack days together. So if you stack days together, you can make money for a month and get paid. If you get paid quarterly, you stack days, weeks, months, quarters, and then you get a nice paycheck. And while we do, we have some fun, we live life, we work on our process and figure it out in this crazy world, right? Well, anyway, let's see what's going on here. You have the chart of the spies. Look at the chart of the spies right here. The chart of the spies, it's consolidating. If you remember yesterday, I'm like, let's see what happens. Do we hold 578 and reclaim 580? If so, we're going to be in this range. Well, hey, that's what happened. Makes it a little bit cleaner looking. So we've been in this range now for almost 2 weeks. This morning, very mixed on the earnings. That's what happens during earnings season. You have Google up a nice percentage, which is good for us. I have a call spread on for Google. And very interesting the way it happened. Right now, it's kind of perfect. Stock right now is trading 179.32. If you remember, I talked about the inverted head and shoulders pattern and the wedge type pattern and the expectations low and PS. We had one set of calls. Just to teach you guys a little bit. Everyone's like, what does it mean when you roll? I'm like, well, if you go to Google, so this is what we did. Okay, Google had a beautiful inverse head and shoulders pattern. In my mind, I was like, maybe this could fill the gap up to 180. So if you remember last week into this decline, I was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to, why is these on top of this? Oh, it's not. This is what we're going to do. We're going to buy the what's it called, the 170s into the belly of the beast. We bought those for like, I don't even know, $3 or $4. And then into this move, I've already doubled them. I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me take those off and roll them up. And what did we roll them into? So I rolled them into, if you look at the alpha team, which gets to see everything live, rolled them into a 175 by 180. So what the risk was $1.50 to make 3.5. And now we'll see what happens. At this point, well, it's gapping up almost 10. And we'll see what today brings. What kind of gap does it create? Does it open up and close up only 5 and they have a red candle and only a little bit of a gap, or does it open up 9 or 10 and close up 11 or 12 and then we have a big gap to trade against? We'll see. But not everything works out. I also have AMD, but AMD actually was really good for me. Why was AMD good for me? Because we started buying the options. Sometimes you want to buy for a pre-earnings run because everyone starts getting all antsy. So if you go out a bunch of days into weakness, it's always cheaper to buy the options. So we were buying the AMD 162 halves here, and I was able to piece out of it a little bit on Monday, and then yesterday I'm like, I gotta get out of this. It was almost a double. So I rolled them up into a 170 by 180, risking, I think, almost like two to make 8 or 2.5 to make 6, whatever it was. Obviously, we see AMD is down, and it's not going to work. So Google will more than cover AMD. That's what happens during earnings season. But I also have Meta and Amazon on because I was playing those for pre-earnings moves. So both of those are up nicely because they go up in sympathy. So if you go with Google up 10, you now have Amazon up 370 at 194.50. We bought those options when it was at 185. I trimmed a little bit yesterday, so I'll probably trim more today because they're going to be worth a lot of money. And then I'll probably roll them up so I'm risking less to stay involved. And I'll probably do the same thing with Meta. Meta's up 12. Isn't that nice? Just like that. Boom. So anyway, you got to know what you're looking at. You got to know what you're preparing for. And you got to keep, quantifying your risk during earnings season. Okay, and that's that. So if you look at real quickly, Google, we just did Google. Sorry, Amazon. Very nice, very tight. And then if you go to the chart, though, I explain it. Amazon is Thursday, very choppy stock. I guess expectations are kind of low. I did buy the 195 calls into weakness last week, which was right into here. I got stopped out of the stock, and we'll see what happens. Remember, Jeff is a seller at 201. I think he's probably still there. So that's why I went with the 95. So I was thinking the cheaper it goes below 3 or lower, the better the move could be, because if it gets back to 200, at least those options are 5 or 6 and you're making a double. You always want to make a double or triple on options because, most of them, are kind of zeros. So anyway, so we'll see what happens today. 195-ish is some resistance. So I would think that it can get there. I'm going to trim more options, book them, and then see what I want to do tomorrow. But for now, you have Meta, which had a nice wake-up candle yesterday. Isn't that a nice wake-up candle? This has been best in breed. Same thing. Okay, this is on my private Twitter sphere. It's in the Alpha team. I think I post I post 1 or 2 of these every day in the public. Meta expectations are high. The stock acted better than most this year. I do have the 620 calls. Yes. And I bought it to last into the weakness. So first I bought here and trimmed some, and then I bought this whole way down, did nothing, trimmed some, bought some, and then got a nice little trim yesterday. Now all of a sudden, Meta's already giving you a pre-earnings move. It's up 12. It's almost like earnings came out for Meta and they didn't, which is great. So now you could trim into that and you're playing with the house money. It's always good, to get a little bit of a head start. Maybe I'll turn it into a spread. I don't know. But anyway, it's been a lot of days. Guys, listen, some guys just worked out of a really big hole, and I'm proud of you. I'm really proud of you. It's not easy to do as a trader when you're in a hole, when you're heady. I know for me, I got really caught. If you guys remember the August 5th low, I was at my high water mark. I made really good money, and then into this area, I started shorting some spies, thinking that I would get rejected here, and then that happened. I got way too big. I got caught in a pain trade short, and I lost a lot of money. And then finally, over here, after licking my wounds, it looked like we were going to get ready to go. It was really long, and that happened. So between both of those moves, down a lot of money. Try not to show it. Try to just continue to lead everyone, do the right plays in the right situation. Played a little bit of Rocky Creed. One punch, one round, move forward. And P.S. Since this, I talked about sequences since this September 11th washout, which happened right here. I've been in a portfolio approach between the nuclear names, the Bitcoin names, high beta tech, and Red Dog's, well through his high water mark, through the highs of the year. And I'm going to keep trying to stack it, packing a rack at the end of the year, so I could get a nice quarterly paycheck too. Besides, being the chief strategic officer, which I do get a salary for. But I feel for you guys, most traders don't. You live month to month, quarter to quarter, and I know when you're in a hole, it looks like life could be over, but just one day at a time. Get green, feel good, move forward. Anyway, with that being said, we'll see what happens with the IWMs. The IWMs are hanging out a little bit better. We'll see what ADP and what's it called, and the PCE will affect how this trades. We did buy some IWM calls in the hole. I bought some for next week, which for the election, and then some a little bit after to see if finally Tom Lee's right. Anyway, it's only good to buy the dips in the IWM. Got a little head start. We did buy it here, and I did trim a little bit because it was up 3 and change. So, but the IWM has been a choppy sector, not the place to be. I'm being very rude at 6:41. I got to say hello to some of my dogs from around the world. Let's get to it. Where are you at? This is, I think, from YouTube, right? Who do we got? We got Sully up. Yay, what up, Sully? Morning, Red Dog. Love it. We got log trades. Important to talk about the losses. That's how we learn. It's true. As long as you would do the same thing again and lose, it's fine. It's high percentage plays. How many people play blackjack? Even though I hate casinos, I hate to gamble, but when you get an 11 versus 6 in blackjack, what do? You got to double down because the odds say you might get a face card and it's a good hand. So in trading, there are good setups. And when there are good setups, you got to put the trade on. It's not always going to work, but you got to do it again. And you got to train your brain for go time and do it again. What up, Space Specialist? Talk about gold and silver. Gold and silver has been absolutely fantastic. We got Westfield in the house. I'm Milburn. We play you guys a lot in different sports. I have a lot of friends at Reddit. Hey, Reddit. I'm not even talking about it. It's one of my power plays. I actually screwed up. I forgot to let everyone know that they should switch to options because I don't take stock into earnings. P.S. Stock is up a lot. What's Reddit doing right now? Reddit is we put that power play on. Wow, at 65. And the funny thing with power plays is it's not like my note. I have 40 if then this that, and you have to pick and choose what you want to play. We all give different thoughts. In the virtual trading for the power plays. I'm just like, buy this here. This is what it needs to hold. This is where it's going to go, and then I piece you out. And right now, yesterday, we went from 50% all in to 25% on Reddit. Congratulations if you're there. What a nice move. Let's see what Adam says. Hi, we got Michael Jackson. You're back? No, I'm kidding. I love Michael Jackson. I can't believe Michael Jackson died before 50, Whitney Houston before 50, Prince. These are all those were my crew. Anyway, so even, just that's why I say it's like gratitude. You talk about these successful people that have it all, and maybe they don't have it all. So maybe you don't have it all, in the bank, but you might have it all in the house. Anyway, so what's going on moving forward? So I just said I am in Amazon and I'm going to roll it. Okay, it's going to hit 195. So what I might do is I might sell all my options into this 195 as if I just had an earnings play because the premiums are high, and then wait to see what happens. I'll probably keep some just because if we're strong today and then Meta delivers, this thing's going to be back at 200. So I could ride it out to there. But then the same thing with Meta. Meta, we'll see what happens. Does Meta stay above 603 today and continue or not? So it's nice that while we've been playing the Bitcoin names and the nuclear energy names, we've been able to let the Mag 7 just do its own thing. Same thing with NVIDIA. I haven't been active in NVIDIA because we've been so active everywhere else. So anyway, here's the IBIT. What a nice move. It wouldn't be so off the beaten path if this were to hang out for a day or so here. This is 41.96. I kid around. I try and kid around just to make it fun because you have to have some fun in life. Back on I think it was October. This day was the day that on October 11th they came out with a picture of like this frail little turkey, and I go to my editor. I'm like, Mike, let's do a little picture of the turkey trot because I love doing turkey trots. Me and my son have done it every single year except when I had back surgery. But anyway, so we put the picture. I'm like, it's time for the Bitcoin turkey trot to Thanksgiving. So this way you're in Bitcoin. So on Thanksgiving, when you're around the dinner table and your aunt and uncle are like, hey, Bitcoin is at 82,000. Isn't it great? Should I be a buyer? You should be like, Grandma, I told you, you have to buy it before the move. You have to use your tier system. You have to manage it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. At this point, it's been a great move. Between all of these names we've been managing within it, to Coors, Mr. Wolf, Mara, these names have been awesome. Some guys like Red Dog, you got to buy some Ethereum, and I was like, I haven't been playing the alt game. I don't really care about Ethereum, but I guess, Ethereum is down here. And if Bitcoin's going to 80 plus, Ethereum probably has a move and probably fills this gap. And it's probably a lower risk way to do it, I would think. Yes, Yankees played for some pride yesterday. By the way, do you know that guy's from, New Jersey? He went to Del Barton in 2019. He was in high school. Pretty cool to see somebody living their dream. Anyway, gold. You want me to look at gold for you? Look at gold. Gold has been absolutely fantastic. I remember focusing on gold here. Everyone's like, this channel right there, was where we were focusing on it. That's when I made a lot of money in gold. And then I kind of just got away from it. It's in my asset allocation plan. What does that mean? That means if you have monthly flows that go in and you have that pie chart, I've said that you could have 10% in gold buying every month and in Bitcoin, and then you have 80% to play with between equities and bonds. But overall, what a nice move. If you use my 21-day rule and you trade this actively, you've probably been in the GLD ever since it ignited right around, actually it was even before, in September. And it's going really well. I played silver once or twice too. What's silver doing? Silver seems like it's ready for highs. I bought silver through this 29.40 breakout. It was awesome. I actually sold into that. Got pretty lucky. And then I haven't really looked at it since because there's so much to do. There is so much to do. Yeah. Yesterday, Red Dog bought the dip. KLO. This has been my dog. My dog. Actually, it's not. Yeah, it's been Red Dog mentality here. This is when we started buying OKLO. And then all of a sudden, some guys who are option sweepers like, hey, Red Dog, they're going out to January and buying the 27s and 30s. I'm like, really? I'm like, well, it takes like 1880. That makes sense. Awesome move here. Even bought some options on the dip yesterday. Looks like it can continue. SMR, what a move. This was a big money move, right here. Had a big move. Pull back to the 80. What happens when you hold the 80? There's momentum, there's speed, there's demand, and boom. And now it looks like it's ready to take this out. There is so much going on. So if you're complaining, you're probably short. If you're complaining, you not know what you're doing. If you're complaining, nobody really wants to. Lily with a huge miss. Oh, that kind of sucks. Oh, the Lily call spread. So that means Lily, at least I have options on. Risk is premium paid. Holy cow. All right. I do have Lily on, and it's a loser. But guess what? Not a loser by that much. Lily, I have, where's Lily? Lily, I have the 990s, and I sold yesterday the 1010s. So I was risking 2 to make 18. So I'm going to lose, 20 times 2 is 4 grand. So, I'll take that. Risking 4 grand to make 36, but that kind of is a little damper on the day, and it is what it is. That is why you need to make sure. I don't care what you think, what goes on. Options, risk is premium paid. You do not, if you trade for a living, if you trade monthly and quarterly, just because literally everyone's friggin' taking pills instead of working out the way they should. I'd rather see you go in a sauna and sweat, go in an ice bath, run around the block, do some weights, than take a pill. And listen, some people need to take a pill, but everyone in the world is, and I thought it was going to beat and give a 10-for-1 split. And guess what? Wrong. So I'll lose $2 per 20 contracts or whatever I have. And that's that. But if you took the stock and said, this is going to bring me, forming, money and profits, and now it's down 80 points, and just say I took 2,000 shares instead of 20 contracts, down 90, I'd be down $180,000 instead of 4 grand. That is why one of my cardinal rules is you only take options into earnings. You could trade after the print, but you only take options into earnings if you trade for a living. Write that down, say it 10 times. There's no flip a coin that's going to bail me out. That's not how you have a career. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. That sucks, but what are you going to do? Someone asked me, am I going to play Apple into numbers? I really don't know. I haven't been that involved. There's so much banter around Apple, but it is tight. Taking like a 2, maybe 40 by 245 call spread, is probably not going to be so cost. It's not going to be so costly. And I love Apple. Apple, no matter what, if you're an investor, stay the course. As a trader, I don't know what's going to happen this quarter because, not everyone's been in a rush. I still have the iPhone 12 Max and it works just fine. So I don't know if we're in that, the super cycle, man. We're playing chess in Cupertino. Who does that? Anyway, I'm not in it yet. But I'm going to look at it. If I pare down a lot of risk and I get out of today with like a wash and then some, I'm definitely going to be playing Dash into the print. I feel like Dash could be like a Reddit. We've already made a lot of money in Dash from 128 up. Okay, now I'm just in an option. I'm in the 160s. I do think if you look at the weekly chart, Dash could see this 175 by 188. So I will definitely be in this. I just have to figure out how much. And then it's still not even back to where it was. So if you look at Reddit, Reddit and go to the chart here. Let's go to the daily. The reason why I loved it also is because it was one of the new issues that came out. It had a nice cup and handle pattern. It's still on the buy side. It's still young. It's still growing. And boom, all of a sudden it's 100. So anyway, pick and choose your spots. Earnings season, you got to be careful. It's not free money. You have to figure out which you could be right on an earnings play and friggin' not make money. Like in Google, actually Google's fine. You can make money in Google. But like if you bought the one, what is it? Just say you bought the 175 calls. The 175 calls were like $4. That's probably where they're going to be now. As they take the premium out. So earnings season isn't free money. You got to pick and choose your spots and have the right setup in order for it to pay you. Anyway, good luck today, guys. I'll be back. I'll see you. I got a lot of work to do.